Good morning, students. I am Prerna Jain. I shall teach you geography. Today, I shall revise the first chapter of the book Fundamentals of Human Geography, Unit 1. The name of the chapter is Human Geography, Nature and Scope. I have sent you a PowerPoint presentation previously. You must have heard it and done the question and answers. I also gave you the gist of the chapter. Today I shall discuss the chapter in detail. Now, human geography, as we all know, it studies the interrelationship between the physical environment and socio-cultural environment by human beings through natural interaction with each other. Let me give you an overview of geography as a discipline. Geography is divided in two branches, as you can see in the chart: physical geography and human geography. Physical geography focuses on geography as an earth science. It aims to understand the physical issues like climatic changes, air pollution, water pollution, energy depletion, and land degradation, whereas human geography, it includes the patterns and processes that shape the human society. It discusses human, political, social and economic aspects. Our earth, it consists of 5 elements: hydrosphere, the water on the earth's surface; lithosphere, the outer part of the earth's crust; atmosphere, the envelope of gases, which is the outermost layer of the earth; pedosphere, which is composed of soil, where all 4 meet; and flora and fauna, that is the biosphere. Similarly, physical geography, it further includes hydrology, biogeography, climatology, meteorology, coastal geography, environmental management, geomorphology, oceanography, pedology, etc. Whereas human geography includes cultural geography, social geography, development geography, economic geography, political geography, transportation and communication, geopolitics geography, and urban geography. So, physical geography, it studies the physical environment, and human geography, it studies the relationship between the physical, natural and human world, the spatial distribution of human phenomena, etc. Now, with the passage of time, geography got subject to dualism. Dualism means division into two contrasted aspects. There are two views of geography. First view is it gives importance to the environmental side, and the second is it gives importance to the social factor side. That is why it got divided into physical and human geography. Now, what do you mean by dualism in geography? The teaching and learning of geography became a matter of debate among geographers. What was the matter of debate? Geographers were confused how we should accept geography, whether geographical phenomena should be theoretically interpreted or it should be interpreted through historical institutional approach. The second was whether the subject matter should be organized and approach should be regional or systematic. The third confusion was whether geography as a discipline should be lawmaking, theorizing, that is nomothetic, which means the study of general scientific laws, or descriptive, that is ideographic, meaning study of particular scientific facts and processes. Now, children, let me explain you all these terms separately. The first one was whether geographical phenomena should be theoretically interpreted or through historic institutions. So, our environment is divided into physical environment and cultural environment. The physical environment includes all those elements which nature has made available as free gifts of human development. For example, landforms, soil, climate, water, natural flora and fauna. The cultural environment includes all those physical and cultural elements which have been developed by man through his gained knowledge and technology. For example, houses, villages, towns, networks of roads and railways, modes of transportation, industrial units, fields, hospitals, sports complex, means of entertainment, markets, ports, and goods of daily use. Now, what is regional geography and systematic geography? Regional geography, under this, all the geographical elements of a region are studied as one unit, and one region is considered a different unit from another region. Only on the basis of these geographical differences, we need to understand this regional difference in geographical context. Now, systematic geography. Under this, special geographical elements of a regional unit are studied and which are generally based on political units. Therefore, it is the individual study of a special geographical feature of a region. Now, you must be thinking, what is nomothetic and ideographic? Under nomothetic, the subject matter of geography is studied as per fixed principles. Before study, aims and objectives are determined, and then its laws are fixed. Attaining goals on the basis of these laws is the objective of a geographer. Now, what is ideographic? Under this, the description of geographical elements is prepared, and under this, a geographer tries to understand which of the natural and geographical factors have affected interaction of human activities and to what extent. So, I think the meaning of all these terms must be clear to you now. Thus, we see that dichotomy, I am using a new word, dichotomy, which means division between two things that are opposed or that are entirely different. So, we see that dichotomy between human and nature is not valid at all because they are inseparable elements and should be seen holistically. They should not be seen separately. We often talk of face of the earth, eye of the storm, neck of the isthmus, and profile of the soil. Regions, villages, and towns has been described as organisms, state, country as living organism, network of roads, railways, and waterways as arteries of circulation. Thus, we see the study and the relationship between man and nature is the main theme of the study of geography. This is just the introduction. Now we come to the next part of this chapter, some important definitions of human geography. Now, according to Frederick Ratzel, he was from 1844 to 1904. He is a well-known geographer for his outstanding work called Anthropogeography. He completed between 1872 and 1899. It is considered as a landmark in history for giving human-centric orientation to geography. The main focus of his work is on the effects of physical features and locations on the life of the people. He is known as the father of modern geography. So, how did he define human geography? He defined it as the systematic study of the relationship between human societies and Earth's surface. Synthesis has been emphasized in the above definition. What is synthesis? Combination of human societies and Earth's surface. Now, Miss Ellen Semple, she was here from the year 1863 to 1932. She is from America and she was a disciple of Ratzel. She was a staunch supporter of the deterministic thought in geography. According to her, human geography is a study of changing relationship between unresting man and unstable earth. She has tried to elaborate the changing relationship between the unresting man on one hand and unstable earth on the other. Vidal de la Blache of France, 1848 to 1819. He defined geography in his own way. In his classic work entitled Principes de Géographie Humaine, he emphasized that human geography provides a new understanding of the interrelationship between earth and man. According to Blache, human geography offers a new conception of the interrelationships between earth and man. A more synthetic knowledge of physical laws governing our earth and of the relations between the living things which inhabit it. So, we see various geographers have tried to define human geography in their own way.